Hi, folks. It's Eurovision Ireland, and we're back with another review of the songs from the 2025 contest. I'll go around the room first. We've got Bogdan,
Hi everyone.
we have James,
Hi everyone.
we have Sarah,
Hi everyone.
we have that's Rich. Oh no, it isn't. Rich is away. So we've got a guest, Phil. Phil, how are you doing, Phil?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, we're fine and dandy. Tell us
Tip
about your
top.
website. Tell us about your
My
website.
website, oneurope.co.uk, has been going for an eternity. And sometimes it feels like we get lots of people moaning at us. But, we just, thank you, Staggy, we just give our responses to songs. We started to do our countdown. And yeah, we're all going really well.
Thanks, Phil. And of course, Phil's website on Europe will be doing coverage of Barcelona. Of course, I'm
Hopefully.
John, and you've already seen Staggy. Now, feel free to like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to all of our channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, call it what you, Blue Sky, TikTok, and probably some others that I've missed. Anyway, now this is the third review of the songs from the first semi-final, and we're going to cover Belgium, Netherlands, Norway, San Marino, and Ukraine. Since eagle-eyed, these are the last five we've got to cover. We're going to start with Belgium. It's called Strobe Lights. It's by Red Sebastian, and he's written the song with I can't even read my writing. Astrid Rolands, Willem van der Stichter, and Billy Batijn, I think. And it's over to Sarah.
Thank you, John. Wow. Well, first of all, I've got to say I absolutely love Belgium this year. And it's one for sentimental reasons because I sort of grew up sort of 1980s, 90s, experience of the nightlife there. And this song really resonates with me because it comes from that era, a lot of techno dance, electro pop. And so this was absolute music to my ears. Red Sebastian, what can I say? Um, a lot of red in it, definitely, as it would suggest.
Is he
A lot of
called
strobe.
Sebastian, perchance?
Yeah, a lot of strobe lights, as the song title suggests. Um, I did wonder whether he'd be able to actually pull off the live performance. Then when I sort of did the live blog on the sort of Belgian national final, pleasantly surprised. Yes, he did, albeit quite a very small stage. So I'm going to be really interested to see how he's going to stage this in Basel. I suspect we'll get much of the same, or just on a bigger footing. Will he qualify? Yeah, certainly think so, and I think they can do a top 10 with this.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Now, if you remember from our previous two shows, what we do is each of the five of us will give this song and the other four songs a score out of 10. So there's a maximum available of 50, and we'll put them all together. It'll all go onto the website, and it will appear above and below us on the screen here, and we'll see if we can pick a winner. So, Sarah, what is your score out of 10 for Belgium?
9.
9. Okay, that was a very forceful 9. Phil, your score out of 10.
5.
5. Okay. Bogdan?
7 from me.
7. Okay, yeah. James?
I'm going to give it a 6. I think it's one of the more interesting things Belgium have sent in recent years.
Okay, and I too, I'm going to be giving it a 6. So that gets a score of 33. And I say you'll see the scores feature above and below us. Right, so moving on. Next door from Belgium is the Netherlands. Recent winners, of course, seem to have found their feet a little bit lately. They're sending a song called C'est la vie by Claude, and he's co-written this with Arno Krobenon, Jeroen van der Voort, and reviewing this one is James.
Thanks, John. So the Netherlands singing in French. That was a bit of a curveball. Didn't see that one coming. But I really, really enjoy this one. I think Claude sells the song well. I think the fact that he's written it is always a positive. When a singer is invested in their song in that way because they've written it, I think that always sort of translates well down the camera. It's very soulful. When it started, I must admit, I was put very much in mind of Barbara Pravi and Voila. And I think if you listen to it thinking of that song, you sort of almost hear the same meter, the sort of way the song rolls. Um, but the beat drops, as the kids say, and it becomes sort of very modern, very slick. Music video sells it well. Be interested to see what elements they take from that music video and put on stage. I know a lot of people have this down as one to watch for qualifying in sort of one of the top spots from its semi-final. I'd argue this is the kind of song that if the vote gets split, which I think this year it really will, I think this is going to be one of the entries waiting in the wings. So not sure it's going to win, say, the jury vote or the televote, but I can see it coming high enough in both that if the vote gets split so much, this is the kind of thing that could pull ahead. So we may get to head back to Rotterdam for a more usual Eurovision Song Contest, which would be really cool. But yeah, I'm impressed with the Netherlands. I think, as you say, John, they've found their feet and they're sort of proving that actually they can do this, and it's not all shalali, shalala, and whatever.
Oh, good times.
Front off.
Okay, thanks, James. Yeah, back to Rotterdam. Someone's never got to Rotterdam last time, so maybe we could do that this time, next time. James, what is your score out of 10 for the Netherlands?
I really like this one. I'm going to give it an 8.
8, thanks. And Bogdan?
I really like this one as well. I'll give it a 9.
A 9, okay. Sarah?
7.
7, thank you. Phil?
I really like it too, but nobody's going to vote for it. 6.
6, okay. And yeah, it's getting a 6 from me as well. So that gives it a total score of 36 out of 50, don't forget. Now, next on is Norway.
It is. That's correct. It is.
Is this everyone's favourite Nordic country or not? Anyway, they're sending a song called Lighter by Carl Alessandro, and he's written it with Adam Alskog, I think. Won a national final. And it's over to Phil for this one.
I don't know what this is trying to be. It's trying to be all gothic, and it's trying to be chainmail, and it's trying to be modern at the same time. And then the lyrics of the song are, "I'm going to burn everything to hell, burn it, burn it, burn it." It just doesn't resonate. It just doesn't do enough. He's 19. He'll have many more years, and he'll have better songs than this. Even though he did write it himself, he'll write better songs than this. I fear for it in its semi-final, to be honest. There are going to be a lot of grumpy people who are not going to be happy. There are going to be a lot of grumpy people who are not going to be happy.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Concise as ever.
Thank you.
And you've got to give it a score out of 10.
4.
4.
Just for turning up.
4. Okay. It's getting a 9 from me. Sorry, no, it's not. It's getting a 5 from me. It's getting a 5 from me, just for the avoidance of doubt there. Yeah. James?
I like what he's trying to do, but I think Phil's right. He's very young, and I don't think he's quite there yet. So I'm going to give it a 5.
5. Okay, thank you. And Bogdan?
I don't mind it. It's a 6.
6. Okay. And finally, Sarah?
I'm afraid I'm with Phil on this one. I think it's going to be a 5.
5. Okay.
I
So
should come here
scores
more often.
a 25 is exactly 50% of the maximum. Okay. Might not be the worst of the worst score of the 37. Moving on, we now go to everyone's favorite Serene Republic, and that is San Marino. Yes, sort of the wild card entry. If you can't get in somewhere else, have a go with San Marino, because you never know. You never know what might happen. Now they're sending a guy called Gabri Ponti, who's more DJ than singer, and it's a song called Tutta l'Italia, not Tutta San Marino. But anyway, he's written it with Andrea Bonomo and Edwin Roberts. I understand they're both Italian. It's over to Bogdan.
Yes, thank you, John. So Tutta Italia, it's a fusion of traditional Italian music with electronic beats. Gabriel Fonte is known for producing really good dance songs, and this is not an exception. I think it sounds really good. It's an anthemic song for Italy. I don't know how it works for San Marino, but I'm glad that it's there. Uh, I think people and the televoters will enjoy it. I would just like to address the elephant in the room. As you said, he's more of a DJ than a singer. I would have a wish personally to acknowledge the singers that are on the stage because there are other DJs featuring other artists. So it would be nice to actually give credit to the singers as well. But it's a choice. Coming back to the song, I'm curious about the staging because watching San Remo with all of the dancers on the stage, it looked fabulous. It looked great. And then watching San Marino with less people on stage, it looked empty and it looked lacking a lot of things. So I'm just curious how the show is gonna be uh, elevated from what we saw in San Marino. Um, so yeah, and the song, it's a good song. It's a dance one. It's a happy song, which I like about Eurovision. I like to enjoy a good performance, but it's up to the staging, I suppose, and we shall see.
Thank you, Bogdan. Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
As a score,
And your
yeah,
score out
as a
of 10?
score, just
Yeah,
for entertaining purposes, it's a 6.
6. Thank you, Bogdan. Sarah, what's your score for San Marino?
I'm giving it a 5.
5. Okay. Mr. Phil?
I too am giving it a 5.
5. Okay. It's getting a 7 from me. It's a bit jolly compared to some of the other songs that are in that semi-final. And finally, James?
I really like it. I'm giving it an 8. I do think it's bizarre that they're singing about their only neighbor, but hey, maybe it'll work for them.
Maybe it's a brazen attempt to try and get 24 points out of the country, but yeah. Anyway, right, our last one in this show, Ukraine. Never knowingly undersold. They sort of know what they're doing with Eurovision. Um, I can think of 2 other countries that are in the same boat. One of which we've already reviewed, and one we might review when we look at the grand finalists. But anyway, Ukraine. They're sending a song called Bird of Prey. Now, I'm not sure whether prey should be spelled P-R-A-Y or P-R-E-Y. They have slightly different meanings. It's performed by Zifferblatt, who are a trio which consists of Fedor Khodakov and Danilo and Valentin Leshchinsky, who have all 3 co-written the song. Obviously, this one's mine to review. Now, I watched the Ukrainian national final many, many moons ago. I didn't really, I thought this one was different, but not different enough to stand out, but it seemed to go down really well. Staging is probably what we're going to see in Basel. Set in a field. They put a field on stage with lots of flowers and grass and everything. Um, and it's got that flowery, powery sort of vibe that I would associate with maybe the late 60s, early 70s. They're even dressed like that. So they're buying into a bit of nostalgia there. I do like the song, although it seems to be like several songs sort of together. The verse and the chorus and the bridge all seem to come from different places, but it all does also seem to work. I can't explain why. Um, as a package, I do like it. Um, Ukraine have probably done better in their time, but um, this one could do well. And with the contrast of the lead singer's voice and his chanting, and then you've got the 3 female backing singers who are doing chanting in a different way, which leads to a good hook. It's There's a lot of synergy about this. If you look at each bit individually, it doesn't seem to make sense, but when you put it all together, it does, and I can't explain why. Um, so much so I like it, and this should be an easy qualifier. Not just because it's Ukraine, but because it's different and it's going to strike a chord and people might like it for different reasons. I like what they've done, even though I didn't have it as a winner in the Ukraine national final, but I'm certainly glad that they're sending it. So much so, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So I'm going to go around the room and get other people's scores. James, what's your score for Ukraine?
I'm going to give it a 6. It's not my favorite thing from Ukraine, but I agree with you. I think there's a lot there that's going to work, and it's going to tap into a very heavy nostalgia.
Okay, thanks. And Bogdan?
Well, when I'm thinking of songs that I like or not like, I like to listen to it again with what I connect to it. So I'm not sure. So at this moment, until I see it performed on the main stage, just a 5, unfortunately.
5. Okay, thank you. And Sarah?
It's a 5 from me. I'm really struggling to get into this Ukrainian entry this year, compared to previous years.
Thank you. And finally, Phil?
7, because it's brilliant. It's not going to win, but it's brilliant.
Yeah. Ukraine know what they're doing when it comes to Eurovision.
Absolutely.
So that scores 31. So before I just go around the room for one final question, I'll recap on how they've done on these 5. So in 5th place on 25, we have Norway. Waiting for the flag there. There we go. In 3rd, equal on 31, we have San Marino and Ukraine. There, 2 bicolours that you never thought you'd see together. In 2nd place on 33, you have Belgium. And leading on 36, you have the Netherlands. Curious mix. Now I'm going to quickly go around the room. Could a potential winner come from this 5? Over to you, Sarah.
One top 10 maybe, but no, I don't see a winner from any of the others.
Okay. And Mr. Phil?
Not a chance. Not with these 5.
Okay. Thanks for your frankness. Bogdan?
I agree with Sarah, maybe a top 10.
And James?
I see 2 potential top 10s and an accidental winner.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. I think there's maybe 2 songs that are not going to do well, and then there are 3 that are, yeah, get through to the final and may do something. So there you have it. As I said at the top of the show, we're going to put these scores together with the other scores from the other 6 shows that we'll be doing. Stay tuned for the 2, the 4 that we still got to do, and we'll see if we can pick a winner, a Eurovision Ireland winner for 2025. So we'll go around the room again, and people will say the goodbye. So it's bye from Sarah.
Bye, everyone.
And James.
Bye, everyone.
And Bogdan.
Bye, everyone.
And Mr. Phil.
Bye then.
Bye indeed. And from me and Staggy, bye.